I think it went really well. I don't really know my numbers yet, but I feel like I could have ran a faster 40 if my hamstrings were fully healed. But it's all good.
When you don't have the combine, just describe your motivation of going to a day like this, and kind of what you look forward to. Maybe some pressure, but how do you kind of approach a day like this when it's kind of your one shot?
Kind of just pissed off. Excuse my language, but yeah, like I just take everything with dirt on my shoulder. Like it kind of makes me mad that certain, my film wasn't enough, or I wasn't enough to get an invite. But that's kind of what I had to come in here and show. Even though I may not have did what I needed to do, I felt like I did predominantly well for myself, and I feel like that's the mindset I have to go into the league because now I'm already underestimated, doubted, and all that.
How much does that fuel you?
The whole way. Like I say it all the time, like disrespect fuels me more than anything. Like it goes my mom, then disrespect. But that's something I take on my chin every single day.
You're talking about what prep looked like for you after the season and building up to today?
So prep, I pulled my hamstring in Clemson, and I had to play through it, Penn State obviously, and then I get 2-3 weeks maybe, then I have to go right back into training. So kind of nursing that hamstring and still trying to do everything else that everybody's doing in my training, but it was just hard, man. Doing the same thing over and over again. You gotta have that dog mentality because dogs eat the same food every day. That's kind of how it is with training. You're doing the same thing, trying to get right, but having that dog mentality, realizing like you're never gonna be fully healthy while training, but you're trying to get those numbers and achieve bigger goals for yourself.
Have you reached out to any shorter in stature linebackers in the league and kind of pick their brain on kind of how the process worked out for them?
I say I didn't reach out to any.
Did you watch any?
Yeah, I definitely watched a lot. Kind of watched a lot, looked at their RAS score, I guess it is, or their numbers, and kind of try to compare. But you kind of don't want to, compare because you gotta run your own race at a certain point. But looking at like Dolak, Ivan Pace, Devin Bush, and guys like that, just seeing what their numbers were, and it's kind of like similar to mine, like with vertical and stuff like that. So I know I could be a productive linebacker in the league, and I feel like those numbers stacked against each other. I feel like shouldn't be no doubt from me scouts or anybody else.
What was the journey like for you? Coming in late from Temple and then kind of emerging as a starter and then a captain and all the things you did.
It was kind of all about manifesting. Like I knew what I was gonna do. I knew what I was proven to do. And it was kind of some doubters, who was like, oh, he's from Temple. Like, Temple's 3 years in a row, like, whatever. Like, but I knew what I could do. I knew if I put the work in, everything was going to be how it is. And I just kind of had to go back to my roots because, that's where it all started. So doing that and realizing that combine prep, I went back to Atlanta and went back to my roots. I feel like same old with the outcome.
You mentioned Ivan Pace. That's a guy that had a lot of accolades in college, was fantastic, went undrafted, and then was immediately fantastic in the NFL. I guess how motivating is that when you see other guys who have kind of taken maybe the road less traveled but still been able to prove themselves once they got there?
It's greatly motivating because it just shows that I do have a chance. Like, no matter what happens April 25th through the 27th draft day, like, I know, like, I'm going to have a chance. And all I need is that opportunity because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. He did, obviously. I feel like he should have been a draft pick with his production, and he had great production. I feel like I have great production as well, but it just gives me hope and a chance that I know I'm going to have that same stage he had.
Brashard Smith was a guy that came in as a receiver, came in as a running back, and then obviously took off pretty quickly. What did you think of just what he was able to do in his year here, and how much potential do you think is still there, too?
That dude, Brashard, a dog, bro. I don't know how else to put it. He's a dog. Like, he wasn't even coming out here to do all these drills and all that, but he ain't practicing either. The scouts told him, hey, we want you to do this, get your numbers. Like, he still went out there and did it, even though I'm like, bro, you don't really got to do that, bro. Like, you ain't practice this, but he's a dog no matter what he doing, football and life and everything, bro. His potential so high to the ceiling, bro. So he ain't even touched it yet, I believe. And once he put on some weight while keeping that speed, bro, he top 5 back in the league next 3 years. I'm calling it out. So.